Welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Today I'm going to be building the Volkov house in the Werewolf game pack. This video is sponsored by EA, so thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to build these lots for the Werewolves game pack. I had so much fun, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy it just as much as I enjoyed building them for you. Now let's go ahead and get into the rest of the video. So the Sims team asked me to build all 4 lots that are included in the new world. So today we're going to be building the Volkov household. So here we are in the game. Now, as a heads up, this is super duper early. My name is bouncing around the screen just as a precaution so I don't leak any stuff before I'm supposed to. And basically, nothing in the game right now is final. This is way before anything is finished and polished. I mean, there's like statue Sims sort of hanging out around the place. The world's kind of empty and blank. So just know that the world's all going to change, but today I'm doing the first draft of the Volkovs. So what happens with this is I'm going to build this house. I can't use any cheats, so no move objects. I can't even use free placement, so I can't hold down the Alt key and do this. I'm not allowed to do that. I can't move objects up. I can't scale them. So no cheats. I also have to be careful not to use too many items because obviously this will end up in everybody's game on PC, Mac, and consoles. So it has to perform really well, so we can't do too many things. So that's the restrictions I'm going to be building under today. Now the Volkov house itself, I've been told, is supposed to be like a self-sufficient home, trying to hide away. They don't really want to be found. It's supposed to be quite secluded, and they shouldn't really need to leave for too much. So they're trying to hide away in the woods. Now, obviously the world is going to change as they keep, updating the game and getting closer to release. But I'm going to assume that our entrance is going to be on this side a lot. So we're going to plan around that and see how we go. So I'm going to use some of the new items. We don't have everything in. You can even see we don't even have the proper icons yet. There's some of the new things in the game, but obviously not everything just yet. We want this house to be hidden in the woods. You can see it's kind of surrounded, and I guess that's what we're going to sort of play with. But what I was thinking is we could even do like a hill that maybe obstructs the house view a little bit, We have like a hill in front. You're coming up, you're like, oh, where's their house? I don't know where it is. And it's back here. So this needs to be almost probably log cabin-esque in a way. Not completely, but what we're going to do, let's start off with this. I kind of have an idea. I wouldn't mind it being raised up. I think it could look quite cool. Maybe not the entire house, but parts of it. Or something like this. Maybe just a really simple L-shaped house down the bottom. Then upstairs, do something like this. I have an idea. That's how these things always set up. I think it's really interesting, actually, being able to record this from the beginning because this is going to change so much. I kind of want to do that, but I don't know if that's kind of looking a little bit too barn-like. I would like to have some upstairs space, though. Actually, you know what? I know what I might want to do. If I drag this out further, obviously I'll make the house a better shape and a bit smaller. What if we do it this way? Instead of having it go steeper, it goes like shallower. So you sort of come up to there, and then it will like sort of, be a more shallow ascent. So kind of something like that. Now, right now, it kind of looks almost like a shed kind of thing. I think I need to make it look smaller. It looks too big still. What if we bring in this lower section and then have like pillars here? You know what? Kind of cool. Oh, these wonky. These are so cool. I didn't realize these had like a sort of tilt in them. If we turn them, we get like this sort of slanted column. That's really cool. Okay, I like this. So I wanted to do like a chimney here. Maybe this should be a shallower roof. I kind of like the vibe of this place. I think I'm kind of feeling it. I might bring out this eave further. Ooh, I have an idea. What if I actually pull it out the front, grab this column? I don't know if this is like too over the top though, like too high profile, like maybe a bit too bougie, It's really big. But here's what I'm thinking. What if we just drag the house down, right? So then the whole house is actually kind of sunken almost. And it kind of hides it away, right? Bring all this down. Then it's sort of like a little bit more, it doesn't look as big in the landscape. It's still pretty big. I think this is a cool concept, but I don't think it's right. I like the kind of general layout of it. I don't know if we can create something similar. Not gonna look, like the roof line's not gonna be quite the same. Okay, so keeping in mind, I need to fit 3 bedrooms in this house. But that's a much more low profile kind of build. I do still want to lower it down, I think, just to make it more secluded. If I move it back there a bit, we do like an obscuring sort of hill. Doesn't have to be too big because if we start putting trees and shrubs and stuff in front of it, it'll work. Okay, I like where this is going. Let's actually figure out how big we need to make this house. Well, really we need 2 bedrooms. So I think there's 2 Sims currently living here, but one of them, Rory, has recently left home. So we'll try to do 3 bedrooms. Something like this. I've just added a bit more on this side of the house. That might be enough to work with. It's still it's pretty tight in here. I don't know. Okay, back to the drawing board again. This is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, this nearly works except for the roof clipping. Without the eave, there's a cap up the top. With the eave, there's one down the bottom. Unless... No, that looks even worse. Okay, I pretty much went back to the first idea because I kind of like it. I've gone back to doing the 2-story because single story wasn't working. It ended up being way too like sprawling, which I really don't want it to be. So it's still like a fairly small house. Obviously, I want to work on the back of it. It's still a bit janky, but I like the idea of it, the downstairs being set back and in a little bit because then it kind of feels a bit smaller, even though it's still quite big. I've also lowered the house down slightly on the lot. We have like a really subtle rise and then it dips down, so it's nothing too nuts. And then a nice big flat area here where we're going to do all the sort of gardening and landscaping stuff that they want. I think around the side of the house looks really bad. So like because we got this bit that sticks out here, then the back is like really flat. So I think I'm going to do a chimney here. Okay, this isn't working. So what we're going to do instead, first up, make sure this land is flat. Get a couple of these puppies. I'm going to use this as like a storage for like log drying. Now I think there is an asset of logs in here, but it's not tagged yet. Well, I can't find that asset at the moment, but this is where you'd put your logs to dry off before you chuck them in the fireplace. All right, front door to this house could go here, could go down there. I kind of feel like it could go there. Yeah, that looks good. So what I'm thinking is we have 2 bedrooms here. This is just like a hallway to get to it. Then upstairs will be Christopher's room, which I kind of want it to be like almost like a loft up here. Yeah, so I want this to be like a loft, and then his room will still be like away, but we'll have like an open balcony area there. And then maybe do a similar thing on that, like that we did on the other side. Okay, that's a little bit more interesting around the back now. Instead of having, I think the big windows are maybe a bit, it wasn't like quite right for this build, but I think we're sort of getting somewhere now. Yeah, this is good. So we're gonna have, yeah, so these 2 are bedrooms, and so is the one at the front here. So all the bedrooms sort of face forward. We're gonna have some sort of outdoor gardening section over here. So stairs, so I've changed the landing in here because I think, well, we want to do some exercise equipment as well. Maybe we could do like a little gym area here or something. I'm not really sure, but we'll give it a go. As for the stairs, we could just do them coming up this side. That could be a cool way to do it because then that also creates a little bit of a division here, which is actually kind of handy for creating like a little entrance and then a living space. But I guess what is this now? This is a really bizarre room, so maybe that's not useful. Other thing is I haven't actually got any bathrooms yet, so I do have to get that in. Better swap the hallway and the supposed bedroom. So this is the hallway. I have another window there, another window here. I don't have any bathrooms. I mean, I guess this could be a bathroom, but the way the front door is positioned as well makes it kind of hard because that's like in the center. I think the problem is I need more rooms because well, we don't have a bathroom. And if we're doing a kitchen and living area in here, there's not really room for much. So maybe we have to forego the sort of landing idea and get another room up here. Okay, so completely changed now, at least the layout. So we got this bigger hallway, which I'm much happier with because that gives us a lot more space for the Sims to get around. The bedrooms have changed shape a little bit. So these are going to be bedrooms, I think. I don't think I'll do a bathroom up here, so I think all bedrooms upstairs. That means we have essentially 3 rooms down here now because I've not really used them for anything. So I think one of them is definitely going to be a bathroom. That's for sure. Okay, the shapes of these rooms are really not good. But living area, I guess just entrance foyer. Maybe we'll have just like a little side table or something. Bathroom and then kitchen dining. Obviously these are kind of messed up, so I'm going to change them a bit. I like the look from the front. Maybe from the back we can just straighten out this wall. Yeah, we can even keep that column there maybe. All right, so we've jumped forward a little bit here. I was really struggling to sort of nail down what I wanted to do for this house, but it's a new day now since I last recorded. I did a little bit more work on it and then I sort of put it down to rest, but I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of the current plan of how this is going to work. So obviously we've got the house. It's a 2-story house. We got a little, little bits of detail and bump outs around the place. Because this is supposed to be a self-sufficient home with plenty of planters, there's actually a new planter style coming, so these will be replaced. I put those 3 down there. Got a couple of the smaller ones. The outdoor bin is here. I kind of like this fence. It's almost like a little retaining wall, you know, and I've just put a bunch of plants behind it. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or change that or whatever. And then I kind of like these little hedges. There's like almost like a little sort of courtyard border or a little fence. I don't know, so it's kind of nice. Everything's at a really subtle sort of slope downward to the lot. There's a little bit of a bump up at the beginning. So like, you know, when you're looking from over here, it's kind of all sunken down just a little bit. It doesn't look quite as big. And I quite like that. And the front door is actually now here instead. I think previously it was here. The layout just didn't make any sense with the door there, so I had to move it. Also, everything sort of changed to a more rich wood tone, so it kind of looks almost a little bit fresher. Like maybe the house isn't as old, or at least the beams aren't. Obviously, the roof has moss all over it. For now, I just have this planter. I'm hoping, I know there is that like a little log asset, so I think that will go down here probably. Actually, I don't know if it'll make any sense there. We might change this, but that's there for now. I also put the fire prevention system in, which I don't often put in my homes. So I thought, you know what? Having this little access around the side of the house, that kind of seemed like a good place for it. So that's sitting there. And I think that's all the outside details. I haven't done much inside, but we've sort of changed the layout a little bit. So we come into the main entrance here, and there's like a 2x3 area. So there should be enough room for everything to go on there. This is using some spandrels and some columns just to create like a little hallway. Before I had 2 archways, it was a little cramped. So this will be our kitchen dining area. Not exactly sure how that's going to lay out. We'll do that in a minute. This is now our bathroom. It is kind of strange. I'm not sure, that might change, but that was kind of the only place I had for it at the moment. And then the living space here, which actually used to have a bookcase here that's since moved. This living room probably actually needs to flip around. Maybe just because otherwise blocking that there, they'd have to walk all the way around just to get to the stairs. Well, these are just placeholder pieces of furniture I put in there. Wallpaper and that I haven't actually figured out yet. Maybe this just as a wood paneling. Maybe get some of the stone from outside onto the stairs. Could be a nice little feature. Now, we do have to limit the amount of wallpapers we use in these builds, which is a surprising little fact that you actually, the more wallpapers you use, the less performant the game is going to be. So maybe we just do that everywhere, and then we can just decorate it and hopefully make it look a little bit more interesting than just brown. Oh, you know what would be good? One of the skills on my list of things to try and include is actually handiness. So maybe I was thinking of the woodworking table could actually be a good addition. What if we could build like a little shed or something? Or what about we do something over here? I'm just going to lower that down so it's the same height as everything else. And this is literally just a tiny, not tiny, but a small undercover area. Might pop that fence on the back of it. Then we pop on this roof. Oh, we can use one of the more colored options too. That'll be fun. Then we could have this little undercover woodworking area. And we could probably pop something else in there. I'm not sure what yet, but maybe something like that. Now, we definitely need some more lighting in this place because it is rough. We turned one of these into a wall. And then it still feels pretty open. I like this one, I think is probably good. Yeah, because then you get that nice and lit up. And then, actually, what light am I using here? Should we? Oh, the gas lamp. That's a good one. Probably fits a bit better, doesn't it? Not as bright. We could maybe get 2 of them though. Maybe just another one of these. I think these are quite good. Sure, let's do that. So we got like the little handiness area there, which is good. Obviously, gardening skill we got covered. We also need to cover. Well, we don't have to hit all of these, but they're suggested things we can do. Fitness, logic, and programming, and guitar. And then there's also charisma and cooking, but I mean, we'll probably cover that anyway when we have a kitchen and mirrors, so they're pretty fine. All right, so this bathroom is a little rough, isn't it? It's a little rough. I kind of want everything to feel maybe like sort of like they could have put it together themselves. Nice sink. Look at this bath. This is nice. These counters are pretty dang nice. So I think that'll work. Then we're going to go underroll on the toilet paper. I want to see how many people are going to notice that all the toilet paper rolls in all of these lots are underrolled. Look, there's legitimate reasons to roll under if you have cats and they like bat it, or even kids just, you know, spinning it because then it won't unravel. Do I want to do anything else in here? I feel like because we don't have a budget on this house. Like the last house we built was the starter home, so I feel like we don't have a budget, so I should probably try and do a little bit more in this one. Body care essentials. How about that? We'll just get some of these in. And maybe a plant. Gonna be honest, kind of a grim bathroom. I think we do need to put a window here. I'm just trying to see what would look good. Could do it like there, but wait, where's the mirror? Isn't that on that wall? Oh yeah. It's like, oh yeah. I guess we don't have to have a mirror in the bathroom. Obviously not ideal, but that window there is actually pretty nice. I really like this. I guess we'll just have to make sure to put a mirror somewhere else because I do want a mirror in this house. Maybe just even out here. Actually, yeah, that kind of takes up this wall space so much, is quite good. We could have those like that and then have like a TV or something. Oh yeah, so we do have the new couch. I don't know if I actually want to use it in this house though. Like, I don't know if, is that too like run down looking? So I don't know if it particularly fits here. We could maybe use one that's not as like patchy looking, like that one or this one, but then it's just kind of a bit bland. We already have a bland room, so we kind of need color through other stuff. I think I want a bookcase. The only thing with this bookcase is it's, you know, it's kind of sitting on columns, which is fine, but it means we're sort of sitting off the wall, and I don't know if it really makes sense having it just here. Alrighty, kitchen time. I'm just gonna leave that because I don't know. I think we can get some counters along this side of the room. Easy. This is a little cuts into it. Maybe what we could do is instead do an end piece there. You know what could be cool? What if we had like a step down into the kitchen? Is that cool? And then I just got to do a platform edge, which would just be like this in a wood variant that kind of semi-matches like that. And then it's kind of sunken down a bit too, which is kind of interesting. Could actually have it all along this side. Oh, I don't know about that floor. I just put it in there. I don't know if I want the wood down here, but I'm not sure about this floor either. So if we just have that cut up there, otherwise it will still hit that window, which won't be very nice. It goes there. So then instead of it, you know, coming around the corner, it doesn't whack into this door as you walk through, which means we could then have, I think this fridge would be a good one. Not sure what, I mean, it could go there. I mean, I guess that's not too bad. Okay, this kitchen is too dark. I've just changed the lighting to probably what I'll use, like this and this guy. And it's so dark in here. Just gonna end the counter there. I think that looks a bit better. It's nearly sort of lining up with the window. Means we can also fit just a bin in here too. I think I need more than one light. I'm actually gonna add a fire alarm into this house, or a smoke detector. So then that can go off and then the fire prevention system can kick in and stop your log cabin burning down. That'll be sweet. All right, we need some greenery in here. Like they're using their own herbs and stuff or something. Okay, well, I mean, I think that looks all right, having like a couple of those plants there. Also, that is green. Looking at that sink. That's a bit better. All right, then we need like a table. I will put it like this. There we go. Should this just go in the middle of the room? Or at least more central, like more like here? Kind of like that too, but I think that's really, that's probably too close to that. I think there's okay, because I think a sim can come this way, can't they? And also that way. Thing is, you don't want to put it too close this way, otherwise they'll never get to that chair. That's something you go there or here. Probably there makes more sense. All right, well, let's go with that for now. All right, back in the living room. I was gonna say, we'll get a lighter colored bookcase, because before I did the brown, and that was just, I think it was a little dark. I think having some of the lighter colors in here has actually worked quite nicely. Likewise with the couch, maybe like that, and then the chair. I kind of feel like we should have a fireplace in this house, because it kind of seems silly not to. Maybe we need to flip the room around. So it would have to be this one, but then is this too big and too, like there's not really a fireplace that kind of suits this house. Okay, I mean, I guess this one probably is the closest. All right, so that means the couch has to be a little bit further off the wall there, which I don't hate. Now, I had the same issue in the starter home. I'm not sure if the rugs catch on fire when they're this close. You know what might be a good idea? Let's get one of these puppies in here. A little smoke alarm. Okay, so the door's a little further that way, which is fine, I think. Actually means I could put something here, potentially. That mirror, actually, you know what? A mirror in the kitchen area wouldn't be too bad. Oh, maybe in the entrance. What about like right here? Okay, so bookcase there. Couch here, which I would like it a little closer, but at the moment it kind of has to be there. Okay, so yeah, there's a new sort of punching bag coming, and it kind of has like a tire as the base. So I think it will make sense having it outside. So I've just kind of flattened a little spot for it. And then we'll just do a little bit of dirt around it. So, you know, little flowers. No, do a little bit of dirt around it so that, you know, they've been using it, obviously. And then we'll probably decorate and change that as, you know, as we get the other one too. Cool. All right, so that'll go there. So we got fitness, we got charisma, cooking, handiness, all covered. We do need to try and get a guitar in Jacob's room. And then there is programming, but that requires a computer. I don't know that I'll add computer here. We could do a laptop maybe. Okie dokie, so this will be Christopher's room. So the sort of head werewolf of this werewolf pack. This will be either Jacob's or Rory's. And then likewise with this one, either Jacob's or Rory's, kind of depends. Yeah, so Rory has left. They have left home because they kind of had a disagreement is the idea. And Rory is now, I believe, the head of the opposing pack, who doesn't want to be as reserved and hidden away as Christopher and Jacob. As far as I'm aware at this point in time, that's the story. So I was thinking if we're going to do Rory's room, let's just say well, which one's bigger? This one's bigger by 1 square, but I don't know if that really matters. All right, whatever. We'll just use, let's just say this is Rory's room. So Rory is left, okay? There's also new beds coming, which I don't have yet. So I guess for now, we're just gonna have to use whatever we got. So they've left, presumably, I wanna say on bad terms. I think there's supposed to be like animosity-ish between them. And Rory, oh, when we get the cracks and scuffs, I want this room to be like ripped up almost. Like Rory got angry and was upset and frustrated and kind of like ruined the room a little bit. That's kind of what I want, but obviously don't have that stuff yet. But that I think is where I want to go with it. Actually, I might try and see if I can use the new desk. That'd be kind of cool. I kind of want this to, yeah, this to also be kind of scuffed up. Like, I want this room to be definitely less than perfect. See, I think this could be kind of cool. Like, you know, stuff left a little bit different in this room. But, I mean, I don't know if this is the best way to furnish this room. Like, I would love the chair to be obviously a lot closer. But if the chair was, like, pushed back and just off to the side, and it's all kind of, like, roughed up. I don't know if the Sim will be like, what are you doing in this room? Why is this chair not just attached to that? But I have a vision. It's in my head, but I have to wait for the rest of the pack to come into the game because it's not all here yet. Oh, you know what would be good? Because yeah, we're getting the scratches and scuffs actually like as wall decals kind of coming into the game. But let's get some of these too. Because these are like pictures of vampires that have been sort of scratched out. And I think that kind of maybe conveys a little bit of the angst that Rory felt. I'm using a lot of those lamps, but we'll see how we go. Might have to tone that down a bit. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so this is Jacob's room, who adores his adoptive father, Christopher. And they're both pretty chill. Man, these lights are so bad, aren't they? That is not lighting up this room at all. Yeah, they adore each other, so. All right, so Jacob is a teenager who likes the guitar, fitness, and cooking, or at least that's what his skills currently are. So we'll get a guitar in here. I actually think there's a new guitar coming too. I think it's this, which I can't use yet, so for now, we'll just use this one. He's not like other teens, he's a cool teen, you know? Well, actually, there is a loft bed coming, so we might actually be able to use that. So maybe, hang on. What if I use a loft bed for now? Because there's a new bunk/loft bed. Yeah, this bed up here is going to change 100%. But for now, it'll be maybe that one. Just because it's got this sort of wood color to it. Okie dokie. Then this can have this chair as well. I do love this chair. I don't know if I'm overusing the chair, but we'll use it like that. It's slightly, you know, better condition than Rory's was. Have a guitar there. We also still got loads of room in here now too, which is good. Maybe we could do some like music-based posters or something in here. Just do a cooking poster. Actually, he likes cooking, doesn't he? It looks kind of intense. Like it could be, I don't know. Let's just put them in here and see how we go. Let's get these. I don't really know where to put them. You know, these are the things he likes. Music, fitness, cooking. I mean, I am a law genius. Speaking of law, I gotta put a Jerry in the house for Dr. Gluon, so let's do that. Maybe like here, on that wall. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Now, I know Sims don't sit down and play the guitar, but it could be kind of cool to have like a chair that he like just next to the guitar that he sits on and he could strum it. Obviously, again, that's not how it works, but okay. I wouldn't mind like a bookcase, but is there one that fits? Oh, maybe we could do this, but on top of, well, actually, I could just put these over here on the desk, couldn't I? What about that? Can they use that? Maybe I'll test that, because that could be a good little spot for it. Because we've got the cool chair, we've got some posters, the guitar, desk, and a bed. Maybe a backpack somewhere could be cool, just all details. You can maybe just, okay, let's go with that. I'm gonna have to play test this, but I think I like that. Christopher's room. So this is the adoptive father of both Jacob and Rory. Rory doesn't live here anymore. They left home. Let me check again, the bed situation. Are we just getting single beds or is there a double bed? I think we're getting a toddler bed, like a regular single bed, and then a loft single bed, but there's no, from what I can tell, new double bed. Okay, so I want a double bed. That looks good. He doesn't need a double bed. Now, the other thing is we do have this window here that goes to a balcony. I mean, that could be a door, but I kind of figured there was not, like, it's purely just a decorative balcony. Even if we had a door, there's literally nothing we could put there. At least I don't think that they could actually use. We could potentially, I mean, actually the roof might be kind of blocking it if you're looking at the side, but we could potentially have a telescope there. That could be really cool. Let's plan for it. All right, so the door is, we might need to move the door because if we put the bed here, maybe there's better. Okay, let me move Jerry for a second. Let's hide Jerry on that wall. So if you're playing like this, which you probably will be, you'll probably never see Jerry because he's there. Fantastic. All right, so the door's there, bed's over this way, that's better. And then we can have the dresser, there. Yeah, that's all right. And then we could probably get a nice picture there. I'm not sure of what, or maybe another Jerry, but like one of Jerry's relatives. There we go, Jerry's relative. So then you might be like, oh, that's where you use the Jerry. But no, there's another one. Maybe a little table under this would be good. Yeah. Yeah, do you reckon they'll let me do that? They'll probably be like, we can't do that. That's some nice flowers. Yeah. I feel like there should be like some sort of hallway rug here too. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, we definitely need some lights out the balcony, so I might get this gas lamp or the oil lamp. We do 2 of them? That's actually pretty nice. I actually quite like that. Maybe we can do the hat rack in here. So this is just Christopher's sort of rack where he just hangs his hat and his jacket. Yeah, why not? Maybe some folded clothes up here too. Okay, I'm liking that. Now downstairs, we kind of hit a little bit of a wall with this as well, didn't we? Because we kind of didn't know what to do with the space at the moment. But I mean, I think it's a good start. We can come back and maybe add some more stuff. And then maybe a little end table as well. Oh, it's a little cookie jar there. Yeah, someone's been sitting there and eating cookies. I like that. I mean, I think that's a good start. That's a good start. Let me fix this terrain paint, because I don't know why this terrain paint over here looks like a fish, and especially now that I've said it, if I don't change it, you guys are going to always think that. I don't know what the actual, like, final terrain paint of this world is going to look like, because this is obviously just placeholder grass at the moment. So I don't want to go too far with that, but that's a little bit better. All right, well, I guess I'm going to submit this through to the Sims team for the first review, see what they think, see what needs to be changed, what's broken, or, you know, hopefully next time we come back as well, there'll be new objects added that we can add in. But I'll see you after the update. Hey, my window. I'll see you after the update. All right, so we're back. We've just had the first round of revisions. Well, to be fair, we've actually had all of the revisions and the lot has actually been completed, but this is the first round. I'm going to show you every step of the way that we went through. And after the first round, the good news is they were super happy that I used the terrain tool and I lowered the lot down. They loved that. Like, they absolutely loved it. The thing that they did mention was that they would have preferred a single-story home, which I also agreed with. And I mean, you saw, we tried so many different designs. It was honestly so hard to get this house to look how I wanted. With the vision of it being hidden away and sort of back in the forest, but also having enough bedrooms for everyone, which, by the way, I forgot a bedroom. I forgot an entire bedroom in this house. And I just want to defend myself because I read the document that listed everyone in this world and, you know, who they were. Nowhere did it mention that Lily also lived in this house. So in my defense, it wasn't my fault. With all that being said, it's all in good fun. It was fine. It was fine. Now, the changes that we made is one that's quite big, leaning into the style. So if you've seen the starter home that I built, in one of the revisions, we actually changed that house to be more generic because this house was going to be more sort of rustic, handmade, hand-built. So we sort of tried to separate the two lot styles as much as we could. So this one's had a little bit of like furniture change, and it will change a little bit more as we go through the revisions too. But first up, outside, I forgot to put columns here last time. So this whole thing was, and actually this wasn't here. So this was like sticking out super far, and they're like, can we put some columns there or something? I was like, yes, yeah, I totally forgot that. That was my bad. So that's properly supported. It makes more sense now. And I actually extended this whole wall. Like, yeah, so before this was one further back, I extended all this out a little bit. So we got a bit more space. Now, inside, let's go in here. They wanted some more color because it was very brown, and I totally agree. I mean, it's this sort of handmade log cabin feel we're kind of going for, but it was still a little too brown. So we've mixed it up. We've got some blue in here. We've got some more plants around the place. We got some green. Whoa. We've got some of the colored sort of aprons. In the living room, we've got a lot more blue. We've sort of shifted things around a little bit in here as well. The bathroom is also a little bit bigger now. So we've got sort of tub and shower here instead of just having the shower, which also I think fits a little bit nicer. The bathroom's more spacious, so it's not just like cramped at the end of the house. So that's good. And we have this whole new study nook because well, first of all, I wanted this bookcase somewhere, and I wanted it to match with these columns that we have around the place, outside, inside. So we've actually put it here to create this sort of separation between the living area, the office area. So we've got a little desk over here. There's no computer, but you know, you could add one in if you wanted. So that's sitting over there, little fireplace right there. You know, a bit more color around the place. Changed out the couch as well. A little bit more handmade and sort of salvaged looking. In the kitchen as well, the fridge was actually previously, I think, here somewhere or like a little bit along. was actually blocking that counter, so we've just moved it over so there's a bit more space so they can actually use it. Outside as well, we've changed the planters because I don't remember if I mentioned it because I did so much like changing in this lot. Well, we had a lot of these out here before, which I didn't really want. So we've changed those over to this anyway, which suits the place a lot better. We've got a bunch of those around the place. We've also got the new planters, because before we had the generic base game one, so we've got the new planters out here. Little planters around the place. Over here, we've got actually a log under there now too. So that's all coming along. Upstairs, we actually had a sort of ripped picture of, I think it was a vampire. They actually didn't want that there because that sort of raises questions about the sim that lives here or that lived here. Mostly in the sense that because this is a pre-made family that lives here, there's a scratched poster of another sim. They're like, what's the story there? Why is that there? Why is there why would they have a picture that they then scratched? So it sort of raised a lot more questions than it told the story. So we got rid of that. But we did keep the one that is just like a generic picture because I'm still waiting for all the cracks and scratches to come in. Because I did mention that to them. I said, this room is supposed to be completely destroyed, you know, cracks, scratches, all that kind of stuff. We still don't have that yet, so it's still pretty clean. And obviously we don't have the new beds yet either, so still using all the old beds, but that'll change in time. But yeah, so that's what's changed up there. Good news is they let me keep Jerry. So I don't know, I don't know why I was able to keep, I had to get rid of the scratch. I guess because it was scratch, maybe that was the problem. But we're able to keep this Jerry and this Jerry, which is great. So they're still there. Now, as for the missing bedroom, there was almost nowhere I could add it in this house without making the house even bigger, unless we built a granny flat. So that's what we've done. We've actually built a little granny flat because Lily, who also lives here, is an elder. And I thought this was like a really great place to put it. So it's out here next to the little woodworking shop. We built this last time. It was actually really handy that this was already here because it was really easy to just add on to it. So we got this little single bedroom, little chair, you know, nice, cute little granny flat that she can hang out in, live her life, got her own bathroom. I think it's fantastic. I actually really like this. I think it worked out super well. And surprisingly, like, I don't know, that just fit in so perfectly to this lot. And finally, I think we like darkened this fence down a little bit. I think it was a little bit lighter in color before. Just made it a bit darker so it sort of blended in a little bit more. And that's the first round. So let's see what they think about this. And we'll check in again. All right, good news. They loved the Granny Flat edition. We had a good laugh about me completely forgetting a bedroom, but it worked out well in the end. We got the beautiful little granny flat, no problems. They loved that, which is great. Suggested changes on it though was actually to remove the back wall that we used to have just here, which I think looks great. Also move it up onto a foundation, just one step so it looks like a more solid structure that's maybe sitting on a slab or something. So we've done that. And I think that actually, that worked out really nicely. I'm actually really happy with how that looks in general. And then other than that, there wasn't too much this time around. I mean, there's a few changes. Don't worry about those. So they actually suggested changing this bookcase into one that's more like this. Just like, so it's not this big sort of rustic pillared one. But I actually said, I think it makes sense having this here. Just because we've got the other columns in the house around the place, you know, outside. And this is supposed to be like this handmade place. I also think it works really well as a division in this space. You know, there wasn't really anywhere else to put this bookcase, and I think it actually acts as a nice room divider. So I was like, you know what, I like that there. I want to keep it, so let's go with that. We've also added in a bonsai tree. They wanted to see that somewhere in the lot, so we've put that just there. This couch has changed back out to a more generic one. While this house is supposed to be a little bit more rustic, we didn't want to go too rustic because they're supposed to be really handy, so they would build something really nice, but it should still look handmade in a way. We're testing things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, you know, all that kind of stuff. Now, we finally, excitingly, have the scratches and punches and all that. So I've gone around this room, we put scratches all over the place because they've lost control, you know, bam, bam. They've moved out of home. This family, the Volkovs, are all about control, self-control, not letting the anger out. So Rory just wasn't about that. And, you know, they lost control more. They really wanted to do this. So, you know, they've gone a little bit more off the rails. So, you know, this room is all scuffed up. It's still there, but it's been scuffed up a bit more. Now, this here, basically what happened here is I changed the desk, and it, you know, when you change an item and then the game deletes it because of like you don't have move objects on, Basically, when you do it in this version of the game, which is like the early access version, it shows that there was an item there that was removed, but I can't do anything about it. They fix it, don't worry. But yeah, that's what it is. It was just these 3 items because I changed the desk. Anyway, so yeah, just a little desk, a little chair, and they wanted to see this on more of an angle, a little bit more dynamic, so it wasn't so like square in the corner. And because this family is about control, I mean, they're still werewolves, so they suggested there should still be areas of the house that maybe they've lost control a little bit. So what I've decided to do here in this room is in the corner, you know, there's scratches and a punch, and it's sort of almost hidden behind this chair. You know, he pushes the chair up against the wall, so it's kind of hidden away, which I think is really, really nice. And then in this room, I think, yeah, we did some scratches here behind the clothes rack, which I think is nice. It's sort of hidden away in the corner. So these 2 bedrooms are much more confined, you know, they're really trying not to destroy everything. Whereas this room, you know, tells the story of losing control, which I'm really happy with. Also, I put a little plant in the balcony just so it wasn't completely blank, which is nice. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, again, there's probably some other minor changes around the place, maybe terrain paints, plants, you know, little things, but overall, those are the major changes. Now let's have a look at what the final version of this lot is that I submitted. All right, so here's the final version that I submitted. Now, there might be some minor changes in the final game if the team decides that there's something not working or something's broken or, you know, whatever the case might be. So there may be some small changes or whatever. But at the moment, this is the version that is going to be in the game as far as I'm aware. So not too much changed, but then also a little bit changed. You know, I've added a few more plants around the place because the lot was still performing very well. So I was able to add quite a bit in terms of just decorations and planting. So I've gone around and done that and sort of refined the terrain paint in places where it makes sense. You know, just really try to tie it all together. I also added a column here in the middle because before we used to have a column here and I think here, but it didn't quite work with the couch anymore because without move objects, I can't put a column here. And if I move the couch forward, it just blocks the walkway. So if someone wants to use stairs, I have to then go all the way around. So that's also silly. So instead, I put a column in the middle because I wanted some more columns inside to tie into this bookcase. We got the bookcase with a couple of columns. They wanted something somewhere else that sort of tied into it. But I did suggest to them if they didn't like this, they can just remove it or whatever. I decided to change Lily's room to sort of match the rest of the house. So it's a lot more rustic and run down than before. It was maybe a little bit more perfect before. And it was really cute before, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you want to change it back, feel free to do so. But now we've got this sort of like the pinned up curtain. We've got this sort of tattered bed on pallets, got an old rug, this old little chair, you know, all the sort of more run-down pieces, and there's also scratches all over the place, a broken mirror in the corner, which that mirror is actually usable, which is surprising. I did test it. I did play test everything in all my lots, so fingers crossed nothing is broken and doesn't work. But yeah, it should all be good, because I made sure that it was, otherwise that would just be really awkward. That would be embarrassing if I had a lot in the game and it didn't work. But yeah, that should be good. Yeah, so it just to tie in more with the rest of the lot because it seemed a little bit too disjointed from the rest. So we've done that. And that's kind of it. Those are the only changes. There was maybe, I think this curtain in here, I might have done a few more scratches around the place. Good news is we still have Jerry. He has not been removed. So no worries there. And then that is the Volkov house. So thank you so much, EA, and all the superheroes that I worked with. Really appreciate the opportunity to be able to build all these lots. They were so much fun because this whole world, the aesthetic and vibe of it is so, I don't know, it's so much fun. It's so like run down and really different to a lot of the lots that we already have in the game, in the base game. Well, not the base game, in the game in general. That it was a lot of fun to build these, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I hope you guys have so much fun with these lots as well. I also am really excited to see what you guys do with the lots and how you change them, because obviously there's a lot to be upgraded and changed, especially in like the library lot, which by the way, if you want to check out the other builds that I did in this world, click on the link down below to check out the playlist where you can see all 4 lots that I built and how they changed. But once again, I hope you guys really enjoy these lots because I put my heart and soul into them. I really tried to do right by this world in this game pack. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time and have an awesome day.